Hey everybody, how you doing? Welcome back to Stock Markets with Bruce. We're here for the final hour of trading today. This is July the 12th. It's Monday, and we are keeping an eye on how these markets want to behave or not behave going into the final stretch here. We're here for the final hour and the first hour of the aftermarket. Welcome back to the mayhem. We're up 106 on the Dow, almost 107 points. We've been kind of hanging at this level for a while now. I'm wondering if the Dow will try to set a new all-time high. It's within 100 points or so, 110 points of an all-time high, and it's been sitting here now for about 3 hours. So time will tell if this is going to work or not. It's got 1 hour to do it. Otherwise, tomorrow, day after, it's going to happen. The Dow will hit a new all-time high this week. The way I see it, I don't see anything knocking this market off its perch. S&P is up 13, NASDAQ is up 22. Both are record highs right there. Oil down 30 cents a barrel. That's what we've got on the big picture. On the stocks that we're following, we're looking at SOFI right now at 1642. We've had, let me take a peek here at SOFI. SOFI, since I've left you, has been as low as about 1628, and then took a shot around, just around noontime here. Just short of noontime, got to 1660, but not near the levels we had first seen this morning. We were at 1684 this morning. We backed off again to about 1626, took another shot to 1652, and now we've been sitting around 1630, 1640, 1630, 1640, and we're at 1641 right now, just under the break-even line on a volume of 11.9, about 12 million shares. There it is, 12 million volume, with no actual news, nothing to hang our hat on. There was a kind of it was like a quasi-positive feature on the company. CNBC was kind of doing a scorecard, I suppose, of Chamath, or whatever his name is, talking about his SPACs, and two of them are now publicly traded companies, and so they were saying there are two winners, two losers. This is one of the winners, and then there are two that are under, not doing so well, and then there are two or three in the pipeline and a bunch of bios in the pipeline. So he is a SPAC machine, but only this one, only the SOFI have I recommended as any one of his SPACs to consider, because I really like this online bank. We'll see how it wants to go for the next hour. Over at GameStop Corp, 188.82, which is interesting, because this is the low of the afternoon, maybe not the low of the day, but the low of the afternoon right now on GameStop. The volume is pathetic, 1,300,000. So there is no news from GameStop today, and the shares have been 187 to 197 all day long, and they haven't been down here at 188 since about 10:45 this morning. Just after the opening, we had the low of the day, and then we kind of came to the break-even level just after 10:15 in the morning. We hung on to have a gain all the way through until about 12:30, and then the stock faltered a bit, and just has been trying to touch break-even until about maybe, an hour, 45 minutes ago was the last time it kind of touched the break-even line. It's been now ever since. Now at 188.79, down 240. Nothing to get excited about, nothing to get happy about, nothing to get mad about. It's just a quiet day on GameStop. ATIP, 879 on ATIP, holding most of the gain that it kind of racked up around the 11 range, around 10:30, 11 o'clock. It just got into this 868, 80 ballpark, and it's been kind of hanging around 878, 88, 90 kind of ever since. But in the last hour or two, been just flatlining at 881 a share, just like as if there's something coming up and someone wants it held here for whatever reason they don't want it to move. I can't tell you or even guess what the heck is going on, because this stock has been a mystery to me so far. They've been very quiet, secretive, and we'll see what they have in mind. But there's something cooking, but I don't know what it is. AMC 42.70 down 349. That's not going anywhere. It did reach the low trade about, how long ago, Bruce? It touched the 42.07 neighborhood around 119, 110, just after 1 o'clock today, Eastern time. and then got right back from 42.10 to 43.70, 43.80 within about 20 minutes. But now it's been slowly drifting back, and we're now at 42.69, down 350. It's been down basically all day. It's been in the negative territory all day long, and yet they did announce today. I don't know if it was an announcement from the company, but AMC Theater sees a new post-pandemic attendance record. That was done over the weekend, but it's not helping the stock. And the reasoning is, of course, has to be one, not enough buying to support the stock at the moment. That, of course, is typical trading. That can happen. We're at 54 million, still good volume, but not enough to stem people who want to get out. And the other one is the reality of the situation that the company's carrying a lot of debt, and even with the attendance numbers they had, that's not enough to take them to another level. But that is what it is. AMC, all right, it is down 340. Gore's 1460, down 9 cents. Had a bit of a pop earlier in the day. In the first hour or so, or a couple hours or so, we got around 11:30. We took a nice shot up to the high today, 1549. The stock was around 416, 470 at the beginning of the day. Went up to 1549. Now it's back off. We're just under, down 9 cents to 1460. So we've traded a $1 trading range. This stock will go nowhere, in my opinion. This is normal now until the 20th of July. That's 8 more days, unless I'm wrong, and that as each day gets closer to the takeover of Matterport on Gore's Holdings on July 20, that these shares will start building in momentum. Is that a possibility? Yes, it is. Could it be that Matterport investors or Matterport followers are going to get excited and want to buy this stock just before the takeover? It's possible. Will they buy enough? I don't know. Volume today for 500,000. That is not enough volume to run this stock anywhere. But it's hanging out here at 1462, down 7 cents. 23andMe, funny day. It's like looking at a ski jump. It started high and has come down, and that is it. It is at 1641. It opened this morning in around this 16, almost as high as 1680 or 1670. 1682 this morning, right off the bat. But by about just around 10 o'clock, it began to lose steam. And by around 10:20, 10:30, it hit the 1620, 1630 range, kind of the low of the day. Since hung around there until about 11:30, then took another shot and got positive back to 1661, backed off again to 1620, and has now been around the 1640, 45 range for several hours. Ever since about 12:52 until now, it has been flat, and that is it for SoFi. Volume, on 23andMe. Volume on 23andMe, 861,000 shares. Quiet, but there is stuff brewing. I know it. We know it. We've talked about it. There's some filings going on. We're waiting to hear some form of official something regarding the filing, I would think, but I've got nothing official since June 11th when they announced that Ruzwana Bashir joined the board of directors. That was June the 11th. We've heard nothing official from the company's press release office since. So I got nothing. First, Fifth Wall acquisition, 12.05, up 8 cents. And the stock has been between 11.85, 12.07, not going anywhere today. We're still waiting, and will wait a while longer yet for the company to announce their final filings with the SEC. Those, I'm sure, are in the works. Vector acquisition down a nickel, has not traded much today, either in volume or in range. 11.33 to 11.69, so we're not going anywhere there. And then NavSite Holdings, 9.98. We're not going anywhere there either. Nothing official, and the volume of 21,000 shares. We're talking this one is sleeping right now. It's hibernating. SVAC is Starboard Value, volume of 200-something thousand shares between 10 and 10.05. We're not going anywhere there either. So we're waiting for a few of our SPACs to make announcements, to get their clearances from the SEC, call their shareholder meetings, and we will be there to enjoy the show. You just tell us when the show is going to start. In the meantime, we're buying tickets, getting ready for the run. Vanek Vectors is up 297. Home Depot down $1. IBM down 82 cents. Disappointing because IBM had a nice start this morning. It started around this price point, even at 140.12, went right up to 141.96 by about 10:30. It was at 141.96, looking great. And it's been downhill ever since, and we're sitting now at 140.68, down 84 cents on the day. I've got no news to make it go up or down or anything else. It's just doing what it's doing. The Dow up 112. It has a reason to not be down. The Dow is good, but IBM, for whatever reason, is off a little bit today. The Dow right now up 113. Microsoft down 34 cents. The Apple shares down 49 cents. So we're talking flat here. Tesla having a good day, up $28. Bed Bath & Beyond up 34 cents. Nothing great. BlackBerry, unfortunately, down 60 cents to 11.20. The cruise shares, Royal Caribbean down 64 cents, Norwegian down 25, Carnival down 35. And then we've got Amazon sitting at with a loss of $3.80 at 37.15. That is holding most of the gains that Amazon has had in the last week or so. That stock is not backing off from a real nice run. We were down into the 3,450 range. Now we're 37.15, and it's not backing up. So anticipated earnings are holding it up and probably ran it here. Facebook at 353, up 340 today. All-time high is 358. Earnings anticipated should be fantastic for Facebook in the next little while. Google up $15 a share. I think earnings expectations are high here as well. The shares in the last month from about 25.20 to 2600, so that is not backing up either. We've got Target up 330 today, JP Morgan up 240. Bank stocks are looking good. Costco down $5 today, interestingly, although it's had a good run lately. Costco was 385 a month ago, now 400 and 510. So $20 gain, but today a little pullback. Walmart off 46 cents. Cisco up 55 cents. NVIDIA up $15 more to 817. That's about the split. Is that a 4-to-1 split? I think it is coming up, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's going to be around the $200 mark. Goldman up $9.79 a share at 381. It's had a very gyrating month. It went up, down, back up. It looks like a giant W at 383, now 381. 52-week high, 393, and it's only trading at 9.4 times earnings. This is what we call real cheap paper when you look at the earnings, and the earnings expectations coming up, I think after the close today or tomorrow, look very promising. So we'll see how Goldman reacts. Disney's up $6.30 a share. They had a really good weekend with this movie. The market really is reacting positively to their movie that opened up, Black Widow, that opened up this weekend, and apparently the word on the street is that Disney is coming back with all of their divisions, firing up again, and this could be good. It's had a good week. The shares were 173 last week, 183 this week. There you go. They're still not making money yet, but they are turning it around. Other than that, other stocks to think about. American Airlines up 2 cents. Netflix down 15 cents. Nothing going on there. The better the movie theaters are doing, the worse Netflix will probably do, I suppose. DraftKings is at 49.16, up 7 cents. And other than that, I don't see much else. Intel's up 60 cents. Micron is up 88 cents. Boeing is down 68 cents. And AT&T at 28.46. That is the latest on these markets. We're up 122 on the Dow. We're at 34,989. That's about 101 points away from the all-time record high. And we have got 46 minutes to go to see if the Dow wants to make a new record today or not. SoFi right now off 8 cents to 16.38. GameStop down $1.72 to 189.51. A little better looking, but still under the break-even line. Physical therapy up 13 cents to 8.74. ATI physical therapy. AMC down 338, kind of meandering. Gore's now unchanged. 23andMe down 13. Fifth Wall up 8. Vector up down 5. Navside up 1. And Starboard up 3. Those are the main stocks and SPACs that we follow here the closest. Thank you all of you for reaching out to me and telling Jennifer and I how much you enjoyed our weekend classes. You really had a good time with it. Those of you who attended both classes, you've enjoyed them. I'm now hearing from those of you who are watching these classes as edited videos off of our website, which is stockmarketswithbruce.ca. You can head there anytime you want and watch class number 1 or class number 2. People are reacting to those. We have really only done slight editing to those classes. Stuff like I'll talk about GameStop, and a GameStop logo will magically appear up in the corner. I'll talk about IBM, and the IBM logo appears, or whatever. And then once in a while, questions come up, and Jennifer will read me a question, and you might see the question highlighted down below, or the sound is juiced up a little bit so you can hear Jennifer speak, and then it juices down as I address it. A few enhancements here and there, but all in all, it's just Bruce in front of the whiteboard, yapping away and throwing off all kinds of examples. I've taken a look at my class to see what it looks like. I'm happy with the fact that I'm able to give you real examples with your accounts, the stocks that you're really following with me. I'm not talking to you guys about stock strategies or option strategies about stocks we don't even follow. I'm zeroing in on stocks we are working on. We're talking about GameStop. We're talking about a SOFI. We're talking about the IBM, for example, and a few others. And so we're going right into details with what we talk about here Monday to Friday. So if you're watching one of these classes, you might say to yourself, this is kind of like watching him live, except that he's just zeroing in on this one topic all the time because there's just so much to it. In any event, we're gearing up now for the second weekend of classes this Saturday and this Sunday. We'll have a class on Saturday at noon Eastern time, Sunday at noon Eastern time. They last, the first two lasted about 2 hours 15 to 2 hours 30 minutes. These will get a little shorter as I cut out some of the logistical problems we're having, so we figure out how to get better at it. But I'll tell you, the time just goes like this. It's unbelievable. I'm on my feet the whole time, and you'd think I'd know how long I've been on the air, but how tired I'm getting, and I'm not tired. I'm just so pumped up about giving you this info and writing on the board and then answering questions and then going back at it that I lose track of how much time we're going. And I have Jennifer over here saying, okay, we're an hour and a half into the class now. Oh, wow, hour and a half in already. Oh, wow. Okay, great. Because it just goes. It just goes. It's the quickest couple of hours. But the info I think you're going to get, and that those who have been watching are already getting, you'll quickly figure out, oh yeah, this is worth more than what he's charging us. I can figure that out. You can certainly see with just writing a single call contract on 100 shares of GameStop can pay for a whole lot of classes, money in your pocket, and we can do that many times a year. I'm quite excited about your prospects to make some money on this on these strategies that we've gone over this weekend. Now, coming up this weekend, we have 2 more classes. We've got the first one, lesson number 3, is using aggressive trading strategies to profit from stock options. And the number 4 class, the 4 lesson, will be using aggressive trading strategies to profit from writing options, stock options. And so we're going to now talk about, rather than just the theory and how it works, now we're going to get into some real strategies, aggressive strategies where you can really push the needle. For some of you, that might be right up your alley. For some of you, might go, that sounds a little too much for me, but I assure you, I will cover a number of various strategies here. Some of them you might appeal to you very much that you hadn't thought of, but we're going to get into that this weekend, and we're going to really follow up on it. And then each week after that, more classes will come out, obviously, as I keep bringing up the next topic. But we do make sure that all of you understand it. We don't go on until a majority of you, or basically all of you, have stopped asking questions. We don't want to leave anyone behind, and so I don't want to just go into something high-end and then leave everybody behind wondering, what's he talking about? No, it's a very interactive class, very interactive between instructor and students with Jennifer as moderator, and seems to be working well. So fantastic. 189.89 on GameStop. We're trying to hit 190 here, down $1.34. It looks like we might take 190 out if this momentum were to keep coming. The problem with it, though, unfortunately, is GameStop has no volume here. We've got 1,368,000 shares here. Well, I guess I have to say, though, there's no selling either. There's very few sellers coming in to get out, which is the number one thing to think about with GameStop. Those who are in this stock are not looking to flip out of this stock. There are no people who are here who are saying, oh, it's all over for GameStop. They have no future. I mean, that's just not the case. The shareholders of GameStop are believers in Ryan Cohen, the new management team, the new direction of this company. And I am certain that they have got announcements up their sleeve that could have a profound impact on the value of the stock. But today, on this day, it's quiet. So there you have it. That's what we're looking at here, 189. Right now, 189.52 as we are sort of inching back to 190. We'll see if we can take a run at it. On SoFi, 1637, down 8 cents now on the day. We have been flatlined now for a couple of hours. Since about 1 o'clock, we've gone nowhere. Even since about 10 this morning, we really can't get much over 1650 a share for much. It doesn't last, and then it goes back into the 1640s and 30s. That seems to be where we've been hanging out. 12.5 million shares traded on SoFi today. That is still 5 times or 4 times higher than we used to have a month ago. But we are not yet breaking out with a massive buy surge at this point. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the stock to start trading 50 to 100 million a day on a consistent basis. I'm waiting for that. But I think the bank charter is what it's all about. Just a hunch of mine. That's one big piece of the puzzle for SoFi. Get their bank charter, and this totally transformed this company. It transforms it. Over at ATIP, we're up 12 cents to 873. AMC down 339. Gore's up a penny now. It's come back again. It's been up most of the day today, or at least break even. 23andMe down a dime. It seems to be inching back to the break even line. 1086. Fifth Wall up 8 cents. We've been in a range, very small range today of only about 22 cents a share. At this point in time. Scott Coleman, thank you, Scott, so much for your donation on PayPal. Just saw it, got the alert. I just saw it pop in there. As always, sir, thank you from the UK. Very kind of you. I always tell Jennifer, and we do appreciate you and your donations on PayPal. Thank you so much again. Other than that, folks, that is the story. IBM down 79 cents. We got the Dow now 126 on the plus side. Let's take a look at some comments. If there's anything I can talk to you here. Let's see. Let's go here. Mother Boom Pie, good afternoon. It's 81. Welcome. Here, Dan has got you got my sentiments exactly. I just want to see more buyers. There's what I'm looking for too. Anyway, we got ATIP initiated at a buy at Citigroup. Let's see, and let's go. $3 loss. That's like 0.001%. It's no big deal. You're my boy, Bruce from Erico. Yes, 4-1. Nevada, NVIDIA. You're going to get 4 shares for every share you have on July 20. So in 8 days. That will be the official day of the split. When they announced this deal, the stock was 685, 690, I think it was, just under 700. And I figured it could probably run to 800, and it's run beyond it at this point. But it is a 4-1 split. All right, not time to invest in NVIDIA. I don't think so. Anyway, that's what it's done. Yeah, here, interesting to see how Disney shares go up due to the latest review of their movie. Black Widow, I think it is. Yet AMC shares do not reflect. Disney needs to show some receipts. Well, AMC, one weekend does not make a recovery for AMC. One weekend doesn't hurt, but AMC is going to need blockbuster after blockbuster after blockbuster to fill those seats to maximum capacity 7 days a week. That's not happening with AMC between Mondays and Fridays, or Mondays and Thursdays. I don't think you'll have sellouts. But on weekends you might, and that's just the movie business. I mean, let's be honest. You want to go to a movie when it's quiet, you go on a Wednesday night. If you want to go when you want to go on a Saturday night, expect a lot of people to be there. That's just how it runs. Anyway, AMC has limitations. Anyway, and here we go. Bruce, I want to buy the VOD for the classes. I want to buy the VOD. What the heck is that? What's a VOD? Can we buy them through your website, or is it through PayPal? I have no idea what VOD means. Video on demand, Jen says. It's video on demand. I want to buy video on demand. So go to my website. Yes, go to stockmarketswithbruce.ca, and then you'll find the headings like home and whatever. There's classes. Just click on classes. And the classes, both classes are listed there. You can watch, pick up the one you want to watch and enjoy it. Absolutely. Anyway, there you go. Iceman Winchell, did Disney release Black Widow in numbers of theaters versus Disney? Everyone watching Black Widow at home illegally is kicking Disney an extra $30. That could be a reason for the dispersion. That's true too. GameStop never has volume, no selling, but the price goes down. So interesting. Yeah, I remember back in January, we were trading 190 million a day on GameStop. 190 million a day. Right now, 1.3 million today. It's a little quiet, I would say. So Black Widow, 80 million in theater, 60 million on Disney this weekend. We're at 190.19. We have hit the 190 mark. Thank you, Oscar, for the alert there. Yep, 190.19 on GameStop. All right, we're a little better off. Anytime's a good time to invest in NVIDIA. The split doesn't get you anything but more shares. Uncle Bruce, how do we get a copy of the edited class? Do we just go to the website? Yes. Please go to the edit site, stockmarkerswithbruce.ca. Hello, Uncle Bruce. I enjoyed both classes very much this weekend. Learned a lot. Had fun, too. I just don't know how to access the edited versions. You are going to receive, all of you who are in the classes, stand by. After I'm done this show today, there will be emails sent out to all of you with your link that will take you to these classes anytime you want. So just, yeah, we're doing it. It's coming. I've had to get my 5 hours of showtime done first, and then I can get into that. So all of you who were alive, you're going to see the edited versions anytime you want as of later today, and then enjoy. All right, and that's always the case with any of you who come into a live class. You will then receive a few days later your link to the edited show. Watch and enjoy whenever you like. All right, thank you. Laugh out loud, 200,000 spike in sell volume for GameStop. It did nothing to the stock, just completely absorbed. Apes using it as a nice sale. Albert, Uncle Bruce, any thoughts about selling cash-covered put versus buying stock? SOFI, January 23, 1750 puts with a 740 premium, 1010 break even. You can consider that. Again, you have to decide whether you want to be a call buyer, a put seller. You want to be just a shareholder. You have to decide for yourself how you want to play this. But each has its pluses and minuses. Time to invest in NVIDIA was long ago. And in the morning show, you said you'd get a link there. That's right. You will get the link. I promise you will. Bruce, can you help me understand why Goldman is undervalued when it's trading at 9 times earnings? Yeah. I think it's a fallout. Years in the making. Bank stocks were restricted by the Fed to do certain things that they used to be able to do before the housing crisis. They've really been kind of handcuffed on certain things, like they can't bump their dividends dramatically. They can't do stock buybacks as easily. They've been restricted, and so they've the perception on the street, the stock market, perceives these entities as operating with one hand tied behind their back. And they've been waiting, investors have been waiting, and hedge funds and mutual funds and everybody else, and analysts have been waiting for the Feds to release these guys from purgatory to allow them to do their business. But the bankers are leery that these investment houses will go crazy again, like they did in 06, 07, and cause another crisis. We don't want them to go too crazy. So they're being watched and monitored and closely examined on their books to make sure that they're not overexposed in any type of positions that could get them into trouble. Good thing. That should have happened in 2003 until 2008, but it didn't. So that's why the stocks have been sort of underperforming. Yet, with all that, they still make a lot of money. They have many, many areas they can do business in, and they do it. They do it well. And Goldman is really doing well financially. They're doing great. The street just wants to know, okay, how good? Show us this quarter. We just heard in the last 2 weeks, a lot of restrictions have been lifted on the banks. And the number of these outfits have increased their dividends dramatically, and they've started to announce stock buybacks. We're all waiting now for these reports to come out, these financials, to see what the next kind of move will be. And this could be very good for the bank stocks this week. This could create an all-time high for the Dow to like 36,000. Like we could go up 1,000 points in the Dow later this week with the banks leading the charge. That would be terrific. Would be great for all of our SPACs, all those stocks we own, because of the amount of liquidity being increased in the market. So I think we're just being held back here. Thank you, Austin. Thank you for the donation on PayPal. Thank you. We're up now 136 points on the Dow at 35,006. 35,090 is the all-time record. 84 points away with a half an hour to go. The Dow seems to be inching higher right now at the best level of the day right now. All right, Wally, hi, Stock Markets with Bruce. Can you describe the function of market makers before the implementation of high-speed computers? Did they ever hold buy orders and pass through sell orders? Now, market makers always kept the bid-ask on contracts. They would be on the floor in the trading pits, excuse me, and they would always be keeping bid-asks going. They'd be flashing signals at the board markers, or at the guys up on the board. They would constantly be yelling out, and there would always be options. But remember, back in the day, before supercomputers, there used to only be options for 4 times a year. For IBM or General Motors or GE, you could only buy and sell call options that expired in the 3rd Friday of maybe March, June, September, and December, something like that. And it would be the 3rd Friday of every quarter. And so to only have those 4 time dates going, and each stock's options were at a 250 level apart. So you could buy on, like IBM, if IBM was at $50 a share, you could buy $50 calls and puts, 47.50s, 45s, 42.50s, 40s, and you could go 52.50, 55s, 57.50s, and 60s. That's all the contracts that would exist for each quarter going out. And so these market makers could verbally keep an eye on all these markets. Because if IBM went up $1 today, they could yell out the different option prices right there to change the bid by yelling it out, and the board marketer would literally change it, or there would be someone on a keyboard hearing specialist number 68 over here, and they would be changing the quotes on every IBM option because they know what he's doing. He's changing his pricing on the bid and the ask on every IBM call or put that he's monitoring. And so they would be doing that. There might be one specialist for the calls, one for the puts. There might be one specialist for this month's calls, one specialist for the next series, one specialist for the next series. There were all kinds of these guys. And so the yelling of the voices, they could hear, oh, that's Charlie, oh, that's Fred, that's Bobby, that's Donnie. And they would be changing these prices all the time with the last trade being yelled out, all done by mankind in the 70s and the 80s. Then we went into monthly contracts. The 3rd Friday of every month, these contracts would expire. As computers came in, and now you had floor traders, and you had posters, guys at the posts. They would be doing computerized quoting updates, and then they would yelling back and forth and hand signaling back and forth with hand signals. It's an incredible system how it evolved. It's absolutely unbelievable. Isaiah, Uncle Bruce, is the 202 volume spike for GameStop a hedge or whale testing the waters for dropping the stock price? I don't think you guys are reading way too much into these transactions. No. There's no testing going on. They don't test. They trade. People who run hedge funds, who handle people on working for stock exchanges or stock brokerage firms on trading desks, mutual fund people, pension fund people, these are veterans of the business. These are people who've been around 10, 15, 20 years. There's no testing. There's no, let's try this. No, they don't do that. They trade. They trade ruthlessly. They trade aggressively. They trade with conviction. They trade with endless money behind them if they screw it up. They lose $500 million, they can pay it. If they make $20 million, they make it. Millions are won and lost on every trade all the time. You guys with me, we are the penny seekers. We're the little guys. We are the minnows in a massive ocean, and we're just trying to pick up plankton here. We're trying to pick up pieces of plankton to grow on. These guys are massive. They're way out in the deep, and they're out there and they are trading. We don't see it. We don't get to view how they do what they do. But they don't try anything. They don't experiment with anything. There's no experimenting. There's just doing. Video on demand DQ. Without you, I don't know where I'd be. Louis, I will go today. The experience is unique. Let's see. It's bagel time, says Marcelo. 189.60 on GameStop, down 162 with 25 minutes to go. SoFi down 7 cents to 16.38. ATIP up 17 to 8.78. AMC down 321. Gore's down 2 and 23 down 14. On IBM right now, down 64 cents. Looking a little better, actually. IBM seems to be coming up just a tad, but I don't know if it'll be enough. The Dow up 135 to 35,006. 84 away from an all-time high. It could happen, but I don't know if it will. We're going to have to get Uncle Bruce an Urban Dictionary. We got to help this guy. Bruce is clueless with these codes. I said, can we get a VR copy of the classes? A virtual reality copy of the class? Well, you come over to my house, and you can sit on the couch right over here and watch me live. You could do that. I mean, if I were to invite you in, if I were to tell you, that you could come on over, yeah, but no. Look, I believe you, but I don't trust you. Okay, there you go. Fred, I paid for the edited class of this morning. I can't access it. Fred, we will look into that after the show. We'll figure it out. Just send me a private email, and we will address it, and I'll get you a link back to you. If you've truly paid, it'll show on PayPal, and we will then get you that deal. Okay, no problem. Thumbs ups for Uncle Bruce. Thank you, guys. Albert Sue, thank you so much, Uncle B. Uncle Bruce, can you explain why an analyst seems to be the best? Seems it's best. Sorry, let me try this again. Can you explain why an analyst seems it's the best price point to buy a new stock at $8.85 versus an IPO'd under $10? I know it's now cheaper, but it seems so hippity-dippity on price targets. I don't know. Look, analysts are just human beings, and some are brilliant and some are morons. Welcome to the world. There are really good analysts, and then there are morons. I don't know which one this is. You gotta decide for yourself. You seek a second opinion, a third opinion, a fourth opinion, a fifth opinion. Make up your mind. We'll go from there. But these guys have their own little. They are in their own little worlds. I mean, we did hear today about an upgrade on GameStop from $10 a share to $25. It's still a sell. I mean, there you go. John Van, IBM making me sweat. I got these July 16 calls, and the stock is sitting at 140.89. That's right. That's what happened. Scott, John Van, you can roll it out of this and work out this week. I'm holding 143, 44, 45s, and 46s. How do I roll it? Sell and buy at a later date. John, 160 plus. Why the face? KW, $10 donation. Oh my gosh. What does a donation look like? Thank you, everybody. I want to sell and open. I want to sell to open 100 of my 23andMe shares. I want to sell to open 100. What would Uncle Bruce do as far options? Suggest. I know you're not an advisor. Just curious. KW, are you telling me that you're thinking of writing a call contract against 100 shares of 23andMe? Is that what this cryptic message actually is? And you're asking me for advice or thoughts on if you were to issue or create a call option as an opening transaction, sell to open, which one? And I have been yelling that now is not the time to write call options on these SPACs. Wait until they do something into this 20, 25, 30 neighborhood and then become a writer. So what do you want me to say? You want me to give you an exact trade you should do, even though I don't give you that advice, on a show where I'm here for entertainment purposes only, and I'm not a financial advisor and all that gobbledygook that lawyers want me to say? KW, you trying to get me in trouble? Well, what's the deal here? It's not time to write calls. So there are no calls to write. You can write whatever. You can do whatever you want. Of course, it's your money. It's your account. You're the one risking your future. You knock yourself up, but do whatever you want. I thank you for the donation, but I'm not sure what you said. I think I know what you said, but I hope I got it right. Let me know if I got it right. John Van, we're going to have lower volume today than Friday. I think you're right. Isaiah says thanks. John, AMOM sold their Walmart. and for IMC. So some outfit, AMOM, sold their Walmart and Facebook for AMC stock. That's what you heard, and the stock is down 324. So they didn't buy much, did they? Okay, we're going to have lower, whatever. Let's move on. Under the sea. Anyway, what am I supposed to do here? Yeah, great analogy here. Whales, plankton, yeah. Thumbs up. Thank you for the thumbs, guys. What else? What's going on? So, sold. How much are the couch lessons? Yeah, if you want to come in here live, sit right here and watch me live. $100,000. That's how much it is to be like, because you're going to be that far away from Jennifer, and anyone getting that close to Jennifer, $100,000 American. That's how much it is. So that's how valuable it is to get near Jennifer Aniston lookalikes. Wally, so it probably paid off to have a loud, high, shrieking voice. What if they consider those floor folks with distinct voices? Laryngitis would make for a down day. Oh, yeah. Floor traders were experts at yelling. Oh, I miss the floor. I just miss the floor days. Oh, man, I miss the floor days. Dave, sorry I'm late, folks. Uncle Bruce, can you give us a rundown on China stocks, the imminent market crash, and your view on American politics? Love you, Uncle Bruce. Oh, you forgot to add what I think about Texans and what I think about people in general. Let's ramp this papy up right now. Let's ramp this thing up. On my way, Bruce, says Mustard Biscuit. I'm hungry for plankton, Bruce. Love VR, you too. I love virtual reality, Uncle Bruce in his undies. That's what I'd like to see right now. I love what Bruce calls certain people morons because he's right, KW. Yes, I wanted to talk about writing call options against 23andMe when you told me not to. As John Venny's going to tell you the wait. John, he will probably tell you that not to sell him another $5 donation from KW. Laugh it all. Thanks, Bruce. Thank you, KW, for these donations. Yeah, don't be writing ME call options right now. Just let this company do what they've got to do. They are in the middle of filing all kinds of stuff at the SEC. I'm talking stuff at the SEC. Let them do all this work. Let them take care of what they're doing. They are obviously in the middle of something big. I don't know how big. I don't know with who. I don't know with what. But there's something brewing at 23andMe. And this is not the time to sell it. This is not the time to get out. This is the time to get in. This is the time to assume you get a position made here on call contracts, on stock. And now just fold your arms and go, okay, show me. Show me what you got at 23andMe. Talk to me now. It might be this week. It might be next week. It might be next month. I don't know. I do not know how complicated this deal is, but something is telling me a number of firms are involved in something big on 23andMe, and filings have just begun. And so now hang on to your hat. You don't want to write options now. You want to write options later, and you'll be very well rewarded when you do so, I think. Bama Babe is here. Do not write covered calls on SPACs this soon. There you go, right there. What more does anyone need to know when Bama Babe says it as succinctly as this? That's it. That's the end of that. I can go now. Damn it, Jim. GameStop low volume has killed my covered call sales on GameStop. Not worth it now. Adam agreed. Great analogy. If people still want to think of the market, think it should be rather than how it is. Well, you can't fix that. There you go. What if Kevin bartends for a couch visit? No, I don't think so. No, I'm looking for the money. I want to take advantage of her beauty. I'm looking to score some bucks. I mean, she cost me a fortune, I mean, you have a Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife in your house. You know how much money it costs you to run one of these? These babes, they're high maintenance. They cost a lot of money to operate. I need some return on my investment here. He just put a price on this casting couch. Kevin is a great bartender, by the way, says Sharon. Can we bring beer and jazz cigarettes for our couch lessons? Oh no, here we go. 100,000 for if your classes pay off. You may have some buyers in a year or two. Wally, Yoko, you're hired. Dave, Queen 11 out loud. Damn it, Jim, just write them a little further out. There you go. Poor Texas, laughing out loud. Bobby saying, play some Yoko. We need thumbs ups. Frankie, hey, Mr. Uncle Bruce. How much would A woodchuck hedge fund chuck. If a woodchuck hedge fund could chuck what? I have no idea, but it's all in the chips. My name is Jonas. Stuff. Everyone's getting it now. Why is Bruce so potty mouth today? Stuff. He's backed up. That's why. Jen slipped him some full cigarette strength Diet Coke today. That's why it was Jen's fault. Uncle Bruce, how do I get more of this plankton stuff? Babes, Bruce, you are pimping out Jen. Careful, she might and should hit you. James, what are you talking about? The $100,000 goes into the account. She spends it. What? Hit what? Hit the banker? Are you crazy? You maybe you hit Secretariat to go a little quicker, but you take the money and she runs. What can I say? That's so awesome. Uncle Bruce knows what a casting couch is. It's so awesome. Breaks sense. Sometimes happens when Jen forgets to give him his pills. I think too. Adam, I bought 50 call contracts at 12.5 strike for Jan 22 weeks ago. Was this a good deal, or what do you think? What's the name of the stock? Thank you, Adam. Okay, SoFi down 6 cents. GameStop down $1.68, 189.55. We have 15 minutes to go. The Dow is up 133 points at 35,003. It is not getting to the all-time high at this moment. However, it could still happen. In 14 minutes, the Dow could still pop and hit a new all-time high. You just don't put it past this market. But you don't know. I sent Uncle Bruce my best Yo-Yo album, my Yoko album. So I had to go shopping this past weekend to fill the Yoko gap in my collection, says Larry. Adam, I bought them for $260, by the way. Great, Adam. That's great. You bought these call options for $260. You got 50 of them, $12.5 strike. Great. What's the name of the stock? It would really help. Anyway, Obama Babe, Fergan, I think SPACs. I think of SPACs similar to when Uncle Bruce said get game at 4, but hung on until Christmas. Adam, 50 call contracts for 23andMe, laughing out loud. Now we know the name of the company that represents the stock options that you're also proud of. Okay, all right, okay. Okay, so you bought them at 260. You picked up 12.5s on 23andMe, and they're good until January 22. Well done, nice job. That is a good pickup. Way to go, man. That's awesome. These suckers go to $15 a share, and you're looking at $4 contracts, and you are one happy guy. Way to go, man. Beautiful. Mr. T says that's a terrible price. Shaky. Jen can signal ships with her diamonds. Mr. T, never mind. Thought you were talking about Rolls Royce. It's all right. Mr. Mojo, these pretzels are making me thirsty. Of course, Uncle Bruce knows what a casting couch is. Jen put him through it when she was thinking about dating him. I mean, I had that casting couch treatment with Jen all over me. Of course. I said, what about buying long calls out of the money and selling short in the money calls? If your covered calls get exercised, you can just use the money to exercise your long call. Well, there's that, or you just buy the stock back and write more short covered calls. I mean, you can do that. Damn it, if you stop the Yoko, our stocks went to hell. John, you'll know when Jen drops his med box. He'll start slurring. His face will drop like Kevin Nealon. Just go with it. Yippee-ki-yay. Just tune in. Is he still ranting? Uncle Bruce, wind down like it's a Friday or something? Like, what's going on? Is he still ranting here? What is this? Oh, my God. It used to be a lot easier, but it's not that easy anymore. But I do what I can. Cheers to all of you around the world who watch this YouTuber. Thank you for all of you over the months and months who've been picking up these items on our RedBubble store. I so appreciate those. We get alerts all the time from RedBubble. You made a sale. Somebody bought a mug, a T-shirt, something. We love it, and it helps with the royalties come in to us every month. They send us a royalty, and I don't have to do anything. It's so easy. I wish I could give RedBubble my classes. I could just do my class and then send the class lesson number 1 to RedBubble, and then RedBubble takes care of all that. It doesn't work that way. I have to do it myself. Austin, thank you for this donation. First, I get a donation from you on the PayPal account. Now you're doing this here. Bruce, what do you think about Jan 22 ME calls at 15 strike? Price too far out of the money. Yes, too far out of the money. You really don't need to go after those at this point. 1250s or 10s maybe what you may want to be looking into. If you're going to buy, you want to buy a lower cost contract, then pick up 10s for October. They're right at the money, like right now at the money. So, they're in the money a little bit. They might be a lot less than buying very high, very far out of the money calls. Maybe you can buy something closer in, but closer right at the money or in the money. That is a strategy you might want to go after. Take a look at that. Price him out. John, yes, he's going strong. The mouth foam is now gone, though. DQ Easy. Uncle Bruce, if something is brewing with ME, as your antenna is twitching with your eons of experience, other than selling shares for cash, why did they wait until now to make the first move and not still price? Well, yeah, so it's possible that they had their deal brewing for months, as we know. I mean, they were supposed to take over this company, this Virgin thing, 2 months ago? Supposed to be done 60 days ago. Got delayed because the SEC changes of rules and everybody had to refile everything. So that was one problem. They were probably in the middle of deep discussions like this and decided, screw that. We'll finish the paperwork with the bloody SEC to get this merger done. And that let's just finish this off. And now upon that being completed, then we'll file the prospectus and all the other filings to take care of that could have been the reason for all of this. Again, I'm just guessing. With my eons of experience, my mugs says I think Anti-Gen put the nickel in him today. Bruce, Peter reviewed scientific studies have shown that if I were better at pulling out, I wouldn't have held GameStop through earnings or have 14 children. Well, if you were, if you'd have thought about baseball at the right time, right? Kev, maybe Jen melts a gummy into the grape jelly. It starts wearing off by the afternoon. I thought Peter reviewed was a pun, laughing out loud. Arico, Bruce, tell your web developer, point all your stock market with Bruce domains to the .com TLD to greatly increase your SEO. I know you don't trust me, but you should. We're still boys. We could not register the stockmarketswithbruce.com name. Couldn't get it. Someone's got it. Someone else has it. I don't know how, why, whatever. So that is that. And so we're not. We're sitting on the .ca. That's what we have, and that's where we're at right now. That's all I can say. I don't know. AB. That being said, I've got 8 $15 ME calls for Gen 1 bought for like 140 or so long time ago. Should I just sit tight with those? Yeah, sure. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, okay. Got them at a good price. Thinking about baseball, that's my move. The credit savage, I hate Robinhood. Once my contracts expire in January, I am out of here. Well, maybe if you sell them between now and August or something, you had a big fat profit, then you're out of there sooner, whatever. Well done for catching my pun there, Mike. Isaiah, FN Internet Trolls. I see. For me, it's a long division. It's long division. Thumbs from Michael. Thank you, Michael. Thumbs ups today. How are we doing with thumbs ups today, by the way? We're sitting at 227 thumbs ups right now. It's kind of quiet, isn't it? 603 of you are here. Only 227 thumbs up. I'm obviously, the rant is not having a positive effect on my thumbs ups today. Sorry about that. But, I do the best I can. Thank you, as I do the best I can. And I'm not sure what all is happening here. Thank you all for your comments and donations and all this good stuff. Okay, I see what's going on. People are signing up for the classes here. Okay, I got it. Those of you who are members, a member alert went out to you today. Check your member alerts. Make sure you got it. Check if you're a member. Make sure you got your alert today. Go to the community section in the page. Make sure you have it. Important information waiting for you. Uncle Wally, Uncle Bruce, hi. Any thoughts on the entities like BlackRock, pension funds, etc., buying up single-family homes like mad? SFR, single-family rental homes. BlackRock owns 80,000 single-family homes in the U.S. I've heard about this now since about 2009. This has been a phenomenon where certain investment entities. Some are regional, some are very local, some are state state kind of outfits. Have been buying up. The word has it that they've been buying up a bunch of houses, especially on foreclosures. Back in the day when the foreclosures were everywhere, picking up all kinds of cheap homes, fixing them up, and then renting them out, putting managers in charge of these homes. I've heard a lot of that. Now I'm hearing and I'm noticing there are firms who are building subdivisions, like homes in a subdivision area that it's an entire complex, walled in, kind of a gated complex, that the entire complex is a rental complex, but they're all homes. These are all houses. And there's like a communal park in the middle of the place, and there's a communal doggy area, doggy exercise area. There's a pool, a pool facility, a jacuzzi facility that all residents can use, but only in the gated community. And none are for sale. The whole unit, all the units are only for rental, and they cover everything. They change light bulbs, they fix leaky faucets, they squeak in the door. They have maintenance people on site to constantly monitor the property. All you have to do is give them a call, and they'll come over and help you out. And so you don't do anything. You live, you eat, you poop, you sleep. You work from home or you don't. You come and go. You got a garage or a carport or whatever you have, or there's a carport area, I think, which is solar, with solar powering and stuff. It's really unique. So that's happening too. So Raleigh, this is not just buy up a bunch of houses, rent them. It's gone mainstream. Is that the right way to say it? I don't know. I'll make them off. They can't refuse, and I'll donate it to you. One of your haters probably swooped in on you, knowing you were preparing to launch. It's possible. Anyway. Who knows? Baseball, not a guy, so don't know, but I love baseball. There you go. I think we need a close-up rant, Brucey. BW, eons means years of experience. That is technically solid still. If I'd say decades, they'd imply you're quite old and should have been put out the pasture years ago. Well, there you go. I mean, I get the haters going, oh, he's an old man. What does he know? And then I get others going, well, he's been around a while. He kind of knows a lot. Cowbell, thank you. Damn it, Jim. I'll give you 2 thumbs for one Yoko song. Falls, I need to last longer. I just lift the paper bag up a little bit. Keeps the appetite down after I see what I'm having for dinner. Oh, God. So they are chasing the baby boomer bell curve of the population. That makes sense. Bama Babe, the younger generation do not like home maintenance. They want their free time for something else like traveling. Jen and I loved living in apartments. We really did. We lived in an apartment forever. We loved it. Did nothing. Sure, we replaced our own light bulbs inside our apartment. But, there was something wrong with the dishwasher. Call the manager. They'd replace it or fix it. Fridge not working. Manager, they'd fix it. I love it. I just, didn't have to do any yard work. My underground heated garage was always working and functioning. Loved it. High of 115 in Fresno today. Thank you, Uncle Bruce, for live streaming, since it's keeping me indoors in air conditioning. Laughing out loud. Way to go. Nick, there is no substitute for experience. There you go. Yippee-ki-yay. Guys are supposed to think about baseball if they want to take their time. Stretch it out a little bit. Enjoy the ride a little longer. You know what I'm saying? Think about baseball. Anyway, okay. Says Munamu. 1641 on SoFi. We are 2 minutes to the close. The Dow is at 34,990. No new record today. We're up 120. S&P up 14. Nasdaq up 28. We're not going anywhere today. But SoFi down a nickel. Is that a bad day? Not really. It's just down a nickel. GameStop down $2. ATIP up 20 cents. AMC down 375. Gore's down 19 cents. 23andMe down a dime. Fifth Wall up 7. Vector up 13 to 1158. Navsite down a penny. Starboard up 3. Vanik up 346. IBM down 71 cents to 140.82. Unfortunately, that's what it did today. 2 T's, those of you who have July 16th calls. That is what's going on right there. My landlord said, enjoy the stove. It's older than you. Okay, who farted? Just around third, slowly. I'm laughing. Steal all the bases. Okay, get those thumbs ups for Bruce. Thank you, everybody. We have now got 278 thumbs ups. A rip-roaring display of love to Uncle Bruce. 280 thumbs up. The phrase "the Bruce is loose" holds especially true today. That's probably why there's only 280 thumbs up. Do you still believe GameStop will go up again to former levels? I think it'll go higher. It'll go higher, all-time highs. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But don't ask me when, because I know you're going to. You're going to say, "Well, when?" Well, like, what day should I buy it before it goes? Can you tell me what hour of the day before it goes, I should buy it, and how many should I get? How high will it go? What kind of prices should I put it at? Sell at? Don't ask me that question. Have you talked about MEs for new filing today? Oh, have we ever, anti-PC? And you know we have. You're teasing me now. Sharon, thanks for the explanation. I was thinking pull out equals strikeout. Now I know not to ask. The bells are ringing in New York. Maybe that's a good sign. 189.10, 189.33 on GameStop, down $1.93 at the end of the day, down 3 cents on SoFi at 16.42. Oh, lordy. Up 116 on the Dow. And we got people who are thinking of things other than the market. They're thinking of other stuff. Thinking of other things. Larry, the bells are going. Bell, buy GameStop during libation hour. Another day down 5%, about a month of 2 to 5% losses. And I only have 20 shares. Should I buy more now? It's always a good time to buy in dips. Pixel Pony, I just bought my very first call. Way to go, Pixel Pony. Anti-piece note, there's a new one this afternoon, Bruce. There was a new one this afternoon. Was another new filing this afternoon, is what you're saying? I didn't know about that. You didn't tell me that. John, thumbs ups. Good luck, Pixel Pony. Isn't that a crystal ball behind you? Oh no, wait, it's the turntable. That is the Spaceballs. That's the Spaceballs helmet that Rick Moranis was wearing as Darth Vader on Spaceball. That's what that is. Let's see now. There's a new filing apparently on the 23andMe. So let's take a look and see if we can figure out a way to get that to come on up here. See what's going on here. Wait for my I have to wait for my website to reload here. I'm just patiently waiting it out. Oh my god. I feel like Bob Dylan waiting it out for the thing to reload. Okay, here we go. 23andMe, 1083 last trade, down 13 cents on the day. 1088, 23andMe, 1088 right now, up 5 cents is what I'm showing on the aftermarket. Okay. Let's go to here, and then let's go to SEC filings here, and let's see if you're right. What do we got? Yep, or no. Yes, no, maybe so. What do we got here? Yes, we have a internet institutional ownership filing, a 13G filing, I guess. Amendment. And it looks like a declaration of who owns what, someone owning some stock and how many shares of how many, and so on and so forth. Abigail, FMR LLC, Abigail P. Johnson. Fidelity is here. Yeah, we're talking about reporting persons. There are reporting persons revealing how many shares they have of 23andMe. That's what this is. How many shares they have of the stock that they've got, the name of the firm, and it is like reading paint dry. It's like watching paint dry, reading this stuff. Someone will have to go through it if someone wants to and find out what this is all about, as we say in Canada, oot and deboot. But I have nothing else to add to this whole thing. The 23andMe shares are showing 1088 up a nickel on the aftermarket with a 1083 final trade. So this kind of weird. Yeah, okay, we were down 13 cents on the day. We're up a nickel on the aftermarket. Okay, and now it's coming together. Now it's making sense, but only 100 shares traded. So let's not take that too seriously. With only 100 shares traded, that's kind of kind of thin. Okay. There you go. Let's see here. Thank you. Thank you for all you do, Uncle Bruce. Thank you, Ori. Thank you. Lord Helmet. Filing notice came out around noon, whatever that is. Hi, Bruce. How many option classes do you think you'll have? Do you think you'll have a price for all the classes? Well, I don't have an actual number at this point. Um, in my mind, I was thinking upwards of 6, but there might be 8 or 10, and this could be over months. As things evolve and change, and these all of these things keep happening here, all of these events keep on going. I may bring up an options class that I hadn't thought I would ever do, and I'll do another one. So it'll unlikely, Graham, it's going to be unlikely that I'm going to just have an options price, because I am not putting together a set of classes that will become part of a course someday. This is just your buddy, Uncle Bruce, putting out classes that are relevant to you guys as investors in what we talk about here all the time, so that you don't have to worry about some class that has nothing to do with whatever we're talking about. It is much more about what we're about to help you really, dig down into some of this stuff, in a little more detail. Does that make sense? I hope it does. Members of the Johnson family, including Abigail P. Johnson, are the predominant owners of Series B voting common shares of FMR LLC, representing 49% of the voting power of FMR LLC. Thank you, Van, says Pixel Pony. The Johnsons have entered into a shareholders voting agreement under which all the Series B voting common shares will be voted in accordance with the majority vote of Series B voting common shares. John, now the question is, what call did you get, Pixel? And then Auntie goes on to say, the ownership of voting common shares and the execution of the shareholders voting agreement, members of the Johnson family may be redeemed to form a controlling group with respect to FMR LLC. Does it make any sense to anybody? Bruce bought SoFi calls before this continued dip expiring January 2022. $15 calls for $6. 2250 calls for 460. Am I likely facing a loss, or will these still be valuable? If I am right on where I think SoFi is going, you're going to make a lot of money. But today you're upside down. Right now you're losing, but this ain't over, because that's why I want you to buy these long-term contracts. Abigail Johnson is a billionaire businesswoman who is the CEO and owner of Fidelity Investments. Okay. The camera keeps bouncing over. Are you playing finger drums on your desk? I'm doing this. I'm touching the computer and I'm twitching, and I'm excited. And I got my hand on my mouse here, and I'm sorry about that. Okay, for FMR is the parent owner of Fidelity. She is the CEO. Looks like she wants the majority or part ownership of ME. Or because Fidelity has so many of the shares, it could be that a large number of hedge funds, mutual funds, and pension funds that own ME have accounts at Fidelity, and Fidelity is the registered owner of the stock at the point in time on behalf of their clientele. That also could be the thing here. John Van, well, if it isn't the adventures of Lance and Rico. Mark, are the Saturday Sunday classes covering the same topics? Well, last Saturday we talked about the introduction of buying and selling options and writing options. This weekend's classes, we're still talking about options, but we're talking about aggressive trading strategies if you're just buying and selling calls and puts, and then aggressive trading strategies if you're writing calls or puts. We're going into a little more deeper now into the option thing, which a lot of you really want me to do. You really want me to get into some deeper stuff. That's where we're going. There will also be classes on just how to be a smarter buyer and seller of stocks, stuff to look for, how to determine what stocks to buy and why, and what to avoid, things to look out for, how to read the markets, how to interpret how the markets are reacting, and what does it mean to the market sentiment, the momentum. We got stuff to do, kids. We've got stuff to cover. Oh my gosh, we're going to be busy. All right. Anyway, there it is. SoFi, 1642 is the last trade of the day. 1640 in the aftermarket is where it's at right now. GameStop, 189.30 on the aftermarket. It is 189.20. Nothing to talk about. We have the Dow 80 ending just shy of 35,000, 34,996, within 100 points of a record high. The S&P and the NASDAQ, I believe, closed at new record highs. I think so. Just saying. Here's a headline. I just noticed this out of the corner of my eye here. Raymond James hiring binge nets 12 advisors with $2.2 billion. Now, this is an interesting comment because this sort of confirms to me what has been going on with the business now for quite some time. And the SEC is okay with it. And what I mean is you have 12 advisors being picked up by the guys at Raymond James. So they got them from somewhere else. Okay. These 12 guys are managing $2.2 billion of clients' assets. Now think about that. How big of an account would you have to be a client of one of these guys? Just one of these guys. We're talking about each guy sitting on almost $200 million of assets. That's how much money these guys have to be managing. And I'm gonna bet you that they manage about 40 to 60 clients very closely, 10 incredibly closely, and then maybe 100 on the side, just a little bit. I can't imagine that they would open an account for you unless you had a minimum of $1 million, if not even $5 million. You would not get their time of day. And if you did manage to be the smallest client they've got, you're the junior client, you're not even talking to the rep. You're not talking to the broker. You're talking to the assistant to the broker. They might have 5 assistants working for them, and you're talking to one of those. You're getting zero attention. But that's the way of the world. That's the way it was. When I was a broker, I had 250 clients at the height of my brokerage work. And I had some salesmen that worked for me that had anywhere from 150 to 500 clients, but most of them are in the 200, 300 range, typically. And they would talk to their favorite 20 guys all the time. I mean, their phones are always ringing. They knew that at 10:30 Chuck is going to call, because Chuck always calls on his coffee break. And at 11:45 Dana's going to call, because Dana always calls just before Dana goes to lunch. These guys knew certain clients were hanging out at certain bars, and they would go to certain bars after the market and meet up with 5 or 6 of their clients and shoot the breeze. This was just the way it was. It was a person-to-person business. But you could only handle so many clients. That there was only so many they could handle if you were a broker without any assistance. If you were a broker that was really you were producing really revenues, generating commission revenues, you would have an assistant, and your assistant would field your calls for you, make your calls for you as you needed to talk to 20 clients one after the other. Your assistant would set up the call so you could just hit button number 4. Hey, Barry, how you doing? I want to talk to you about something right now. Quick. I want to do this. I want to do that. Okay, I'll get back to you later today. Great. I'll have my assistant call you with the fill. See you later. Bye-bye. Write up 2 tickets. Buy this for Jerry. Sell that for Jerry. Hand that to the assistant, and then get on to the next phone call. The assistant fills in all the paperwork for the order, enters the order with the desk trader, and off it goes. And then when the fills came back, the assistant would call the client and say, you bought this, you sold that. Bruce will talk to you later. And meantime, Bruce is on his 16th call, and he's writing tickets because he's busy. And the assistant is running back and forth to the trading desk and making calls and answering calls and leaving messages, and on and on and on it goes. These are the guys that made the money back in the day. But these were the people who worked. These were people who had a work ethic as well. The brokers that I had, first of all, my rookies never got to that level because I wasn't their manager long enough, because I left to form my own public company anyway. But in certain houses that I had been in, I had witnessed the work ethic of some of these guys. And I had one fellow that I worked with, a broker, that my branch manager asked me one day, I think you should team up with Harry. You and Harry should team up together. And the two of you could make each other a ton of money, because you two guys you're a fit. And I sat down with Harry and had a chat with him and said, manager is telling me we should be getting together. And Harry would say to me, I can't keep up. I've got so much I need to tell my clients, but I can't keep up. I got 800 clients. 800 clients, no assistant. Because this guy was getting referrals from all over the world. It was unbelievable. All over New York, all over the US, all over Canada. And so I had my 150 clients. He had his 800. So we teamed up. And I became kind of his assistant. But what I did was He didn't have to pay me any money because now he and I were buying and selling the same stock all the time. We were in the same stocks together, and we started building a book together with these 4 or 5 companies that we really were dealing with. We were dealing with the presidents of these companies, the boards of directors. We were hearing the latest news all the time. The news announcement would come out from one of these companies. We'd be the first to get it, along with the market. As soon as the news announcement was released, we get a copy of it and immediately delivered to us. So we were always on top of what was going on. So we were the first to call clients of the latest breaking news of these public companies. Between the two of us, we really made some money. I was struggling. This is 1980, about 83 or 82, and Calgary had just had the crap kicked out of it. I mean, Calgary was in real trouble. We were at $10 a barrel for oil. It was bad, and I was making like $800 a month in commissions as a broker because my clients were broke. And Harry, he was making about $4,000, despite the fact that he could have been making 5 times as much, but he was so disorganized and dysfunctional. He was making 4 when he should have been making so much more. So we got together, and over the next few weeks and few months, we got our act together, and we had it down to a science. Every call that came in to him came to me, and I managed the phones, and I only gave him calls that he had to take, and I kept him talking to the key people he had to talk to, and that was it. And I would manage my clients. I would help manage his, and we worked together, and we built up a very unified team, and I turned him into an efficient guy. And his second month he made $8,000, and I made like $1,500, and the third month he made $12,000, and I made $3,000, and in the fourth month he made like $18,000, and I made $6,000. And so now both of us were really on fire. And we did this for I can't remember, what, a year maybe or something. We were on fire, and the manager was delighted. Our manager was so happy. You two guys just keep doing what you're doing. We'll leave you alone. You're doing great. You need any help, let us know. And so he and I just worked it, and we were in there an hour before the opening, and we'd be there an hour after the close. And we had paperwork at the end of the day, and setting up our transactions prior to the day. We had a battle plan. We would leave the office together for 10 minutes to chat privately, and then come back in and then get back to work. We were running it. And the receptionist at the front, I mean, every third phone call coming into the house, 50 brokers, every third phone call, Bruce and Harry, they want to talk to Bruce or Harry. And they would ask for me. They would ask, because they knew you couldn't talk to Harry. You had to talk to Bruce. And so the phone is ringing. I go, yeah, hang on a second. Line 4 is Jerry on 4. Take him right as soon as you can. Yeah, Brucey. Oh, hey, we'll call you back. Bobby, we'll call you back in 5 minutes. No problem. Yeah, we got news for you. Boom, boom. The next call. He'd talk to Jerry. Then I'd give him a note. Call Bobby right after this. There's line 6 is for you. It's so-and-so. This is that. And we were just a machine. But it took a partnership like this to make it work. And we built up a bit of activity, and we made some money together until the day Harry said to me, I love everything about you. I really do, Bruce. You're great. You've turned my life around. I'm way better broker now, but God, your clothing sucks. I said, what do you want? I'm not making any money here. I'm wearing stuff that's 2 years old. He says, we're at the end of the day tomorrow. We're going to my favorite clothier. I said, oh, okay. Because Harry was a clothes horse. And we left the office and the next day, and he took me to a shopping mall downtown Calgary. We came to this high-end Italian clothing place. And we get to the front door, and the owner and the 2 salesmen are there going, oh, Harry, how you doing, Harry? Oh, they could smell money coming through the front door. And the owner just waved at Antonio, the number 2 guy, and waved at the front door. And I'm wondering, what's going on? And there was nobody in the store. It was just the owner and his 2 assistants, and then Harry and myself. Next thing you know, the front door's locked, and it says back in 15 minutes. They closed the store. They wouldn't let anyone in. It was just Harry and his buddy Bruce, and they were warned about me. And he's looking at me going, ooh. Looking at my seersucker suit and my shirt and my tie, and he's just going, oh, we have to fix this. Harry says, don't look at the prices on anything. We get special pricing here. Don't Don't look at the price, because if you look at the price, you'll crap yourself. Don't look at the price. Okay. So he picked out. I think we ended up with 2 suits, four pair of slacks, all. Then we picked them up. Then they were made to measure from that. They would alter it all, ties and shirts, and I think it cost me a couple of $1,000. And Harry was just saying to Antonio, just put this on my tab and we'll take care of it. Antonio, no problem, Harry, no problem. We measure up, we give to you. And so I had a couple of bags of some of the stuff I could have. The rest of it had to come in a couple of days later to get measured out, finished off, and then picked up. So a week later, I'm looking spiff. I'm looking pretty good. But Harry's saying to me, you're wearing $8,000 worth of stuff for $2,000, okay? And at the end of that next month, I made like $8,000. I gave him $2,000, and Jennifer's going, "You look good. You look. I like my man. My man is looking as successful as he's making money." That was pretty cool. The next week, I went out that weekend actually. I went out and I bought some nice pairs of shoes. I went to the Bali, Switzerland, the Swiss brand Bali Shoe Company. They had a store in Calgary. Bali shoes for men and women, really good stuff. And I bought about 3 pair of Bali shoes. And this is 1982. I'm paying $250 a pair for shoes in 1982. When I used to pay $29.99 at Eaton's at the department store, I'm dropping $250 a pair. I bought 3 pairs of shoes, and I came in on the Monday morning with my new suit on, my tie and my shirt, and Harry's at the desk and he's watching me walk by and he's talking on the phone and he's going, but he doesn't see the shoes yet, doesn't know. Then I sit down and I put my feet up on my desk as I'm talking on the phone, and he's going like this. He can't believe it. He's got new shoes on. Look at those shoes. He says, I got to call you back. And he hangs up the phone. He goes, "What's with those?" And he was blown away that I would go to the Bali shoe store and pick up 3 high-end quality shoes, a pair of which I'm not sure if I still have them today. No, I don't. I had the last pair up until about 10 years ago. They lasted upwards of 20 to 30 years. That's how good they were. I had them repaired time and time again. They were of such quality. But I do have a pair of shoes still in my possession that I bought in 1998 in Toronto at a high-end shoe store that I still wear occasionally now. But when you have top-notch quality shoes, they last for decades. For men, they last forever. Women, fashion, colors, heel styles, there's no. But anyway, what can I say? Mr. T, thank you for this donation. Recommendation, buying IBM options. Well, if you're going to buy IBM options, you would want to pick off probably September's or October's now. And you want to scoop up maybe even December's or January's, because you want to get into longer term for the split to be announced. And there might be a gain on the stock with earnings, but there might not be. But you want to be out long enough for the split coming up. So again, that might be an idea. Anyway, anti-PC, it's running down the street in a panic with the family, just because of the impending market crash. We'll buy more GameStop, probably some ME too. That's what's happening right now. Okay. I know I saw your comment for this morning. Don't forget your album. What's going on? Let's go. Oh, man. The old stories. Every girl's crazy about a sharp-dressed man. That's true. I remember when Harry and I were, when we were in our finest, we would go out to shareholder presentations at like the Westin Hotel. They'd have a public company doing a tour, maybe an IPO, and they would do a presentation. And we'd go out to check it out, and we'd walk in the room, and there would be 500 people in that room, all in the investment business. Salesmen, managers, clients, executives, whatever. We'd walk in that room, and out of 500, there would be 10 of us that would be that dressed, that well-dressed, and the rest not. And the 10 of us who knew what we were wearing knew what the other guys were wearing. We'd look around, we'd check the other guys out. And there was this code. It was kind of like a code of acceptance that you dress like that with that quality of clothing, you are cognizant of what your presentation. You are, you're wearing it on your sleeve, man. You're showing, you know what you're talking about. The rest were oblivious. And there were brokers made more money than I were wearing Sears suits. It didn't matter that just because you dressed well didn't mean you were a successful broker. But there were those of us in the business who dressed well, who showed it off. I started ordering tailor-made shirts with my initials monogrammed on my thing and the shirts didn't have buttons. They had those clippy things. Gosh. Oh, I'm so tired. I'm having trouble figuring this out. Cufflinks. Cufflinks. I had like 6 pair of cufflinks that I used to use all the time in my shirts, as did Harry. And during the day when it was hot and heavy and we were really into the market, we'd take our jackets off, hang them over our chairs, and we would take our cufflinks off and we would roll up our sleeves to here. Because with the big cuffs, work perfectly. But we would never wash our own shirts. We would at the end of the week, we would drop our shirts off every Friday to a dry cleaner, and on Monday we'd pick up our shirts for the next week. We always had like 15, 20 shirts at home at all times. So you were always rolling them over. In the Cayman Islands, when I was there, I had a gentleman from Hong Kong would fly in once every 3 months, not me personally, but a gentleman from Hong Kong would fly in once every 3 months to the Cayman Islands. He would rent a suite in the Westin overlooking 7 Mile Beach. This is $1,000 a day. He'd be there for 2 days, $2,000 in a hotel bill. He'd fly in and he would have appointments every 45 minutes for the 2 full days. He would have 30 appointments in 2 hours. How he did it, I don't know how he did it. And I was brought in once with, again, a broker that I worked with in the Cayman Islands who was also a very sharp-dressed guy. And he said, "Oh, you got to meet my buddy Johnny. He's in from Hong Kong. He's great." Oh, we went in and saw Johnny for 45 minutes because my buddy had an appointment in the Cayman Islands. And I can order shirts. Oh, I want 100% cotton shirts, permapress, and with my initials. So he measured my neck and he measured my sleeves and my butt. I had tailored shirts for the Cayman Islands, perfectly tailored shirts with just enough room on the neck. I didn't want that tight. Didn't want that tight feeling. A little bit of looseness. Tailor made with the BF logo either on my pocket, but usually on the sleeve. I liked it on the sleeve, and clients would notice that. The clients would notice your initials on the end of your sleeve with your cufflinks. Oh yeah, they'd notice that. And cool cotton shirts, fantastic for this hot, humid weather. But my buddy Scott down in the Cayman Islands, he would drop $5,000 when Johnny came to town. He would drop every quarter, every 3 months, $5,000 in clothing, and he would get suits, and he would get casual jackets. He would get like a dinner jacket. He would get pants, all of his clothing. Only from Johnny, all from handmade Hong Kong. He didn't shop anywhere, except for shoes, which he would get on the mainland in Miami. I think I only bought shirts, maybe a couple of ties. I still had suits and stuff, although we didn't wear jackets in the office often. We had them with us, but when we met clients, we wore the jacket, bring him in, or bring him into a boardroom, and be in an air-conditioned boardroom. And then when the client left, we take our jackets back off, and we'd just be in our shirt. But that was the Cayman life. But yeah, we'd had our man from Hong Kong come in. He would write up $300,000 worth of business, $500,000 worth of business every quarter, coming to the Cayman Islands. So to spend $3,000 on a suite, wherever the cost of the suite was, chump change. And this guy was racking up the points, the Westin points, and the points. And he would give us his schedule. He would give us like he would send us in the mail an envelope. We'd get in the mail saying, "I'll be in town next month. Let me know if you want to have an appointment," and telling us the dates and where. And we would see a schedule on the back of the envelope or the back of his business card. It would show that today I'm in the Cayman Islands for 2 days. I'm in Bahamas. I'm in Nassau, Bahamas for 2 days. Then I'm into St. Kitts for 1 day, to Bermuda for 2 days. All over the Caribbean. This would be the Caribbean tour. And then he would go to Miami, and then he would fly to LA, and then back to Hong Kong. And all the orders will be sent to Hong Kong through the internet. So while he's talking to us, all the orders that he's done already are already there being made up. And within a week and a half, a shipment would arrive at my desk in my office. From the front desk, a box would arrive. I'd open up the box and, oh, there's all my shirts. And I'd look at Scott, he'd have 3 boxes. His suits were there, and his pants, and his ties, and his shirts, and his polo. His polo shirts would arrive from Hong Kong, handmade to fit perfectly. And he was in shape. He looked like $1 million, and he made that kind of money too. Phenomenal. It was just another world, it's another existence of the brokerage business that I was exposed to at the time. Spiffy is right. What can I say? IBM just pops 5%, and my $145 16/7 call gamble might pay off. That's all you need. Just a little pop like that. Hi there, Dana and Ashley. Dana, tie, tack, stick, pin. There you go. Hey, folks from British Chillin, how you doing? I love the story, Uncle Bruce. Says I can't find you. I remember when I would go to the shoe shine guy with my new shoes. I'd come into I'd see Antonio, no Marco. I'd see Marco, my shoe shine man, and he'd look and he'd go, "Oh, the Bollies have come out. You got yourself some." He'd know the brand. He'd look at the shoes. "Oh, you got Bollies. You're wearing the high end shoes from Switzerland." He says, "How do they feel?" I said, "They're fabulous, man. They're just great." He says, "Yeah, and they polish up real good too. The leather they use." These polish up beautifully. He says, "You make sure you see me every week with these. I got to take care of them for you," because it was an investment. It's an absolute investment. Yeah, indeed. Oh my gosh. Good times. But I don't wear that stuff anymore. French cuff. Yeah, French cuff. Can't stand a tight collar. I think it was hanged in a previous life. I worked at the nightclub scene as a manager during my younger years. I always had to be the top dressed man in the group. Fashion dictated your status. That's right. That can mean something. By the way, BW, Uncle Bruce, any tease of when you may give us a new SPAC we can pin our hopes, dreams, and wishes on? Since we're in a holding pattern with us for now, no rush, just inquiring mind, wanting to ask. I'm always on the lookout. There's no timing. I'm not holding anything back. When I see it, I like it, I'll jump on it. And if I come out 1 week with 3 recommendations, that's just the way it went. I gotta go. Catch you tonight. Thank you, Sharon. We'll be on at 7 o'clock for the Hangout show on Traveling with Bruce, 8 o'clock for the big show. Going to talk cruise ship travel. Dana, good night, everybody. Good night, Sharon. Hi, Gregory. Uncle Bruce, will you be having classes for us that aren't beginners, but could use maybe a deeper dive into covered calls and buying calls, just logging in to make sure you've answered? That's starting this weekend, too. Yeah, this weekend we're getting into that as well. And next weekend, probably even further. Yeah. Once I paid a guy to fight to the death with another guy after the other guy called him out for his terrible tweed jacket. There you go. I mean, sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Sometimes you just pay people to do stuff. I got to love it. Oh my gosh. Too much fun. 126 point gain for the Dow. That's all she wrote today. 15 points on S&P, 31 on the NASDAQ. There you have it. True story, says T. It's a true story. There you go. Yep, I worked with guys who were badly dressed, and I worked with guys who were impeccably dressed, and then everybody else in the middle. And I worked with people who were incredibly, how do I say the words, very crude, and others were very sophisticated. But I cannot recall. I'm having trouble recalling working with a broker, an investment advisor who was really well kempt, well dressed, well mannered, who didn't make a lot of money. These guys made a lot of money, but then again, they also took care of this. They ate well. They didn't abuse their bodies by drinking themselves to death. They stayed away from the illicit substances. They invested in their bodies by staying in shape, eating properly, and they studied a lot. And they put into their career an investment of themselves. They invested into their careers by looking after themselves, and it paid off with the clientele that were grateful for the fact that every time they called the office, the broker was usually there. I worked with guys who were hotshot sales guys who could sell anything to anybody, but they couldn't control their need for adrenaline and for stimulants, and they would burn out. And they had a couple of good years, and then they were erased from existence. They didn't exist anymore. And unfortunately, there were times towards the end of their careers where they would be away from the office more than they were there, and the phones would be ringing, at the reception desk, and can I take a message? Can I take a message? And eventually the clients would go away because the guy couldn't handle it anymore. And that's what happens. And eventually they would just not come in anymore and they disappear just the way it was. Anyway, there you go. That is life, no matter what business you're in. I think, when do you anticipate the cruise lines to start going down after this hype of vamping back? What does that mean? When do you anticipate the cruise lines to start going down after this hype of ramping back up? The cruise lines shares really aren't going to go anywhere, because every quarter coming out, the truth will be told. The report card comes out every 13 weeks from these cruise lines, and every other publicly traded company, every 13 weeks, you got to release your numbers. The cruise lines are not going to have pretty numbers to release at all for quite some time. They're going to be ugly. The cost of ramping up right now is unbelievable. It's even more money than just keeping the ships parked offshore. These guys are spending huge money to ramp up, and this next 6 months, 9 months, going to be ugly, man. Going to be ugly, and the shares will not go any higher. They may have to dilute more shares to pay off bills. Have a good break at all. Swear, thank you, Michael. They invested in their own infrastructure, you could say. Larry, good night. Yeah, that's right. These brokers invested in themselves. They invested in their own business. Exactly. Have you looked at DCRC, Uncle Bruce? Just interested if you don't like it for any reason. DCRC, I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it does, what do they do, what are they about. DCRC. Sorry. There you go. What do we got here? Decarbonization Plus Acquisition Corp. It's a SPAC, obviously. No idea who they are, what they do. Excuse me. There seems to be some kind of an acquisition going on, some battery power something. Yeah, I don't know anything about these guys. Not on my radar. Not on my. There's no news on them, so they're certainly not promoters. They're not like really exposing their company to the world. Or I've never heard of it. So there you go. Anyway, yeah, let's see. Was talking to the pres of my local bank about Wells Fargo cutting lines of credit, and the cost of keeping physical bank locations active makes even more bullish on SoFi. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Who cares? Any idea when we'll get earnings from SoFi? I think within the month. We are not too far away. Solid state battery co-contracts with Ford and BMW. Right on. Testy Donkey. Uncle Bruce, my folks have been booked onto a cruise since last year. They are due to go in September. They had the company calling them, asking them if they would consider selling their tickets back for 110% because they can get that much more to somebody else. Isn't that interesting how they can do that? Isn't that something? Wow. A British shilling bought some more SoFi today. Right on. That's interesting on the cruise lines that they can get that much money. Very interesting. I don't know. There's all kinds of news out there on the cruise lines, never stopping, but the prices are high. No joke. My client here looks like Uncle Bruce's long lost California cousin. Back to this story about this cruise thing. What could be happening here is the cruise line. They know they have to give these people a cruise. They have a credit. The credit they paid for. Cruise line knows something else. If they can convince them to take a cruise later, even if they give them 10% more. They take a cruise later, it might cost them more than that to take a cruise later, number one. But number two, in the meantime, if they can get these folks to shift down the road, they can sell this cruise this year for way more cash, and all cash, a fresh cash deal to a non-credit holder. And that will bring in money, cash money, against these credits that they are on the hook for. Because if these folks go on to this cruise, the cruise line doesn't get a lot of fresh cash. They folks have bought their cabin. They've paid for it. There's no more money to get out of these people unless they can get them to drink a lot, gamble a lot. But if the cruise line has some high rollers, or they've got, like the casino has high rollers they're trying to find rooms for, that they know are going to drop 50 grand a night, or they're going to gamble $500,000 over a week on a 1 week cruise, they might lose $50,000 to $100,000. They'll try to get these guys out of there and put them in instead and take the action. I mean, that could well be it. One never knows. Anyway, no joke. My client looks like a long lost cousin. Ona, hello everybody. I had to run and give my granddaughter some money. Laugh out loud, just like a kid, always needing money. Welcome, Ona. Welcome all of you to the show. Thanks again. I'm going to wrap this up pretty soon, but thank you again for being here, for watching my live classes this past weekend. Those of you who were in those of you who are picking up the live classes now, or the edited classes on our website, stockmarketswithbruce.ca. Head over there. You can watch any of those 2 classes we did over the weekend. You can pick them up. Thank you for all of you who are doing that, who were here live, who are going to join me this weekend for the next series of live classes. I look forward to that very much. And thank you for being members of this channel, subscribers to this channel, and giving us thumbs ups. I do appreciate it, as you have to know by now. 361 thumbs ups. Thank you, everybody, for these. If you're able to give me a thumbs up before you leave this afternoon, please help us out. Give us more momentum for the show. That would be appreciated. All we need now is one of our SPACs to go up $5 in one day, and all of a sudden my channel just picks up the life like you can't believe. If all our SPACs went up $3, $4, $5 in one day, can you imagine what would happen to this channel? It would go ballistic, man. It would go crazy. Thank you again for all of your support. Jennifer and I wish you all the best tonight. Please stay healthy and get your shots if you can. Get vaccinated, kids. It's the one sure way to avoid this thing. And stay healthy for us. And we will catch up with you later today. And you know what? NTPC going to buy an Ultima Red with a sunroof, but in 5 months she'll be able to buy a Lamborghini, says John Van. Way to go. We love you, Uncle B. Thank you, Ona. Great show today, Uncle B. I should really call this a documentary because it feels like it's it is mine. Invest in yourselves, everybody. Laugh out loud. Kev has a way with words. Grandma Ona. Take care, Bruce. Thank you, guys. I saw an article. They've docked boats in Greece and are cannibalizing older ships to try to save on repairs for newer ships. I believe it. I just got my letter to stockholders from Gores Holdings. Quite a girthy book. Also, my proxy vote info. It's 8 days. Matterport takes over Gores in 8 days. Get ready for a ride. I hope we have a big ride coming up. That will be a lot of fun. Really looking forward to it, kids. We'll watch that and we'll follow it. Always a pleasure. Love the stories, Uncle B. You take care. Thank you, Ian. British Shilling. John Van wouldn't be so sure she could get 3. Ona, I do need more grandkids, but not going to happen. I only have 1 granddaughter. Auntie PC, nice. Thank you, everybody. Have a great afternoon. We'll see you on Traveling with Bruce at 7 and 8 o'clock for those of you who are members, and 8 o'clock for the big show. We're going to talk cruise ships over there. And I thank you in the meantime. We'll see you tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock, or let's make it 8:30 tomorrow, 1 hour before the opening. I'll be back for more fun and merriment. Let's see if our stocks go sky high tomorrow. We'll make a bunch of money. I like it. Okay, thanks, guys. We'll see you later. Bye for now.